now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right. Shabbat shalom, Asherah. Shabbat shalom.
All right. Shabbat shalom, Israel. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel. He is
all
generous,
praises to the Most High,
kind, and perfect in all his ways. All right.
That's right. Hey, so the lesson, the war on Israel has intensified. So look, we're going to throw out some really precious gems today and show you what's really going on. And for those who are keeping the commandments, you're going to see it plain as day. For those of our people who are not keeping the commandments, it's much harder for them to see, and we'll explain why. But before we get into the lesson, let's go ahead and turn to Exodus chapter 20. And we're going to go ahead and do our reading for this lesson.
That's right.
All right, brother.
Reading. Weekly Shabbat reading. All right. Exodus chapter 20. We're going to start at verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and in it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Shabbat day and hallowed it. And what a blessing, because, you know, when we look at it, the Most High's laws, commandments, and statutes, that's our blueprint, Israel. That is our blueprint to success. And if we do not abide by these commandments that the Most High has given us, then what use is life? Because then we might as well not even be alive. We're just like the walking dead. So, you know, with that being said, this is why me and Brother Eitan so heavily bring out the laws, because that is the key to all understanding, like it says in the Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 19. All right. The Torah is life, and those that do those things, you know, shall abide in them. So, you know, we gotta get serious about this thing, because as we looking at this war on Israel, this thing has intensified. And I'm telling you, y'all, these heathens, and I say the powers that be, our enemies, the enemies of Israel, man, they out for blood, because they know that if we get back to these commandments, laws, and statutes, it's over for them. So instead of trying to own up to their guilt, you know, their thing is to just wipe you out, wipe you completely out of existence. That is their goal. But they've been trying for hundreds of years. They have not been successful, because the Almighty Yahweh says that he is going to have a seed that's going to remain in the end. All right. It may not be pretty. The process may not be pretty, but he will have a remnant, a seed, you know, before the day he comes to revive his people. And for the meantime, we got to go through all this stuff. Now, the title is The War on Israel Has Intensified. Now, I want y'all to realize something. Now, many of our people, and I say the majority of them collectively, because we make up less than 12% of the U.S. population. So out of that 12%, we're talking about probably 11.99% of our people are just in total ignorance of what's really going on. Now, why is that, you may ask? Well, when you're not keeping the commandments, Yasharel, you know, there's a certain level of understanding that you're just not going to have when you're not keeping the commandments. Just because the government is giving our people some free cheese and milk, I guess that's a sign for our people to think that the government, that they can trust the government. You know, just because they shake your hand, smile on your face, you know, give you a free morsels here now and then, give you a few compliments, let you get positions, you know, 2 or 3 maybe in a high position somewhere where you can work amongst your enemies. Our people think that they just head over heels. They think that, oh man, they love us, the government, we can trust the government. But they have no idea that they are the main victim of their own deceit.
Mm.
So, the war on Israel has intensified. And so we're going to get into a few things. Brother Aton got some clips we're going to show you. Of course, we're going to bring out a lot of precepts too. But this thing is much worse than we can ever imagine. Me and Brother Ak was talking about the other day, and as far as with the immigrants and everything, with the Venezuelans taking over certain areas, which you already know where I'm going with that, because they bust them right into where we are. Now I want to ask y'all something right quick before I turn over to Brother Aton. Now there's been a lot of media talk about these Venezuelan immigrant gangs taking over certain apartment complexes, I guess, where most black folks live. Now some of y'all live in the sanctuary cities like Cleveland, Ohio, Colorado, like Denver, Chicago, New York. So if you live in those areas, I want to ask you if you're seeing anything like that or hearing anything like that, or know someone who's been affected by this in one form or another. Put a 1 in the chat box, because when I saw these gangs taking over, it's like I couldn't believe it. I'm like, okay, are they making this stuff up, or is this stuff really happening? And then I realized that if this was somewhere else in a white neighborhood, they would have sent in the National Guard. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to see that if you guys are seeing this firsthand, or you got some coworkers or whatever, people that's experiencing this firsthand. So, we don't think that this stuff is just, okay, this is just being made up by the media. Well, I mean, we know what's going on. Man, crazy. What you got out?
First, let me bring a scripture up, right? The book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes, let's go to chapter 30. And like Brother Daniel was saying, right, we got all these immigrants around us, and they're really our enemies, right? Because they're not really trying to make nice with us. They're trying to come in, use up all our resources, and take up what little space we already do have, because we're under the curses of the Most High God for not keeping the commandments, right? And part of the understanding the law, statutes, and commandments in the book of the law, right, we have different precepts that are in the scriptures that teach us how to deal with the enemies, right, and how we are supposed to act when we're in the land of the enemies, right? It says he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, right? So, like I always harp on, right, we need to get our family structure in order. So it says, he that teacheth his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him. Right, we know in our community, right, how we're going to fight back against these invaders and these immigrants in our particular situations that are steadily interrupting the flow of our community and the building of our community. Now, right, I'll even show you guys later that they're even claiming that they built up America. That they're entitled to the same things that our people have actually fought and died for. Right now, even though we've done this stuff, right, we still need, in a pursuit to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments, right? We shouldn't have these other heathens in our community, and we shouldn't be congregating with them and then trying to include them on our resources when they're not our friends, right? When they're not our friends. It says, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he hath left one behind him that is like himself, right? So if we had the fathers in the home raising up the children, right? So even when the father would die, right, the son will be able to grow up and to continue on in the same venture, right, that the father had left off of, right? This new age stuff where you go and you do your own thing and hey, well, I got my own. No, right? The Most High, right, the genetics that are passed down to the family, they all are the same genetics that suit one particular thing. Like back in the day, you had the families that were passed down and they were all blacksmiths, right? And then you had the families that are passed down, they were all carpenters, right? Because that was the family line, and then that was their spirit, and that's what they were strong with. So they passed it on to their sons, and they continued the tradition on and on through the family. Now today, right, like you have your son, and he doesn't know anything about a trade because you didn't pass it down to him for him to know it all. Right, like sometimes I work in the field, and I have other guys that are in the HVAC business, man, they were starting when they were 10, right? Their dads, they decide to pass down that same knowledge to them. So then by the time they get, on a company or whatever, they're making $50, $60, $70 an hour without any problems because they had the same education since they were 10. It's the exact same thing that we need to be doing to our people. But instead, it's like every generation we're starting from scratch. Instead of passing down, a skill or trade to one of our people to, build a foundation in the community. Right. So we can't be overtaken by migrants and wickedness. Right. So it says, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. Right. And when he died, he was not sorrowful. While he died, he was not sorrowful. So it means that, if you're raising up your son and you're in his life, and he's taking heed to whatever you're telling him, right, and the lessons that you're giving him, hey, man, your father's going to be happy because he knows that when he dies, you're going to continue on the traditions that he left you, right? It says he left behind him an avenger against his enemies, right? Knowing that you can't let Aki set up the corner store, right? Knowing that you can't let Habib come in there and then mess with the daughter, or mess with his sister, so forth and so on. He has left one that is just like him. He understands the situation that we're in, a leader of the community. And one that shall requite kindness to his friends, which means return, right? Return kindness to his friends. So when the father dies, his friends is just like his father never left anywhere. And if those fathers also have sons, it's the same thing. So they continue on the same camaraderie, the same traditions, the same, strength and manhood, and following the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Most High have purposely left for us to follow.
It's a powerful verse, man. And, what's really important about that, as Brother Eitan read that, was having a father figure or leader in the home. Now, our enemies know this too well, all right? What happens when you create a hood and then you take the father out, you create welfare, and then you weaponize the women, but there's no man in the home? Now, they sat back in their think tanks and they knew that this wasn't going to happen overnight, but we're talking about, man, we're talking about like 5 generations of planning and of scheming and everything, because what Brother Eitan read is so important, especially when it comes to passing down trades, all right? Not only trades, but land, property, all right? We were supposed to, if we had stuck with the commandments of the Most High and did what we were supposed to do, we would be on top of the world right now. We really would. And everybody, all of Israel would have land. You look at the heathens right now, and you look at all the stuff that the wealth gap is just so, I'm talking about by an avalanche, the wealth gap. And this is going to be leading up to why the war on Israel has intensified. Because all these years now, all these generations that pass by, you have no father in a home, no trades to pass down to your children, no land to pass down to your children. What do you think that's going to end up at? Think about it. If you look at us today as a people collectively, outside of the lawyers, doctors, and things like that, and even that, you're still working for your enemies. But our people lack big time when it comes to trades, all right, and property. And so now, as jobs becoming more scarce, as AI is taking over a lot of stuff, and then as the immigrants are coming in, and they're filtrating everything, where does that leave Israel? It's either turning our people into a life of begging, or turning them into criminals. This thing is much bigger, much worse than we can ever imagine, Yasharel. What you got, bro?
Yeah, man, let me play this real quick, right? Just a little testament to what I was saying before about these heathens. They're coming in now, they're trying to take credit for the things that we've done in history, right? And see, like, man, we really have to understand that these people are not our friends, right? We have enemies round about us, and like Brother Daniel was saying, we only make up around 12% of the population. Any numbers that you see that's bigger than that, they have boosted our numbers by sticking it with, by adding mixed mamzeers, right? Mixed race and they just call them black, right? That's any other numbers that you see that are bigger than the actual 12%. They try to mix in heathens, mamzers, mixed babies with our people, right?
Really got kind of popular also with a lot of black comedians in the 90s, comedy shows in the 80s, 90s, stuff like that. But I want to play this clip that he's talking about the Latino community. And so we'll have our editor put it here, and then we'll come back.
Latin people, we're the largest ethnic group in America, the oldest ethnic group. We built this country. We suffered in this country. We were oppressed, and we're thriving. We add $2.8 trillion to the GDP every year. If we were our own country, we'd be the 5th largest economy in the world, bigger than England, bigger than Italy, bigger than Brazil. And that's just in America. So I found Latin excellence all over America, in Chicago, in DC.
All right, enough of that damn heathen. All right, but you see that, right? You see how they're just, steadily, they're just trying to, come on the news and come up in America and try to take, our accomplishments for themselves, right? Hey, man, the Lord wasn't playing when he said that the curses was going to be on our people, that he was going to put the heathen very high, right? And then he was going to put us very low. It behooves our people to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments because, we're asleep. Like, we're literally asleep, and we see that what? We see that these heathen, they don't ship these immigrants and things of that nature, these enemies, into their own neighborhoods. You don't see them showing up, right, in white suburbia. They don't do that. You know why? Because they want to stick them on you. Because they don't give two craps about you. They said that you are the tail. The Most High says that you are the tail, so they're going to treat you like the tail as long as we do not keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God.
This is serious, Joshua, because he said that in Deuteronomy 28:56 that he would rejoice as he rejoiced over us to do us good. He would rejoice over to do us evil.
God.
And I don't even think we realize the significance of that. All right. So the biggest thing that's always messed our people up, and even forefathers, even the ones who claim that they were, even when they were in their own homeland, I don't know what it was. It's like, damn, you got everything the Most High is giving you. He shows you all the miracles, and then you turn around and you want what the other nations have, which is death. Now check this out. Now, the first 2 commandments has always been a doozy for our people. All right. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee. Oh, can y'all see that, by the way? Can you see that, brother?
God, man,
On the screen.
Crystal clear, brother.
Okay, good. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
That's right.
What do you think? What do you think that really means? All right, you got our people out here worshiping money, worshiping cars, material things, worshiping the women, the men, the other races. All right, having babies by them. All right, thou shalt not have no other gods before me. Just fornicating left and right. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven images, or any likeness of anything that is in the heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Now you got our people that got these little niglet heads in their homes. You know what I'm saying? All kinds of stuff. And they don't even realize what those things represent. All right, you know, all these African niglet heads and all these symbols and all that kind of stuff. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. And this is why we're seeing the things that we're going through. And instead of our people repenting and getting, picking up the scriptures, their insanity. They're trying the same thing over and over. Well, I think they love us because, we got to make them feel at home and we welcome them and everything, but they don't realize that they're the ones that's being destroyed. Their own man is, they're being killed by their own venom because they refuse to repent, first of all, and be humble and come back to these laws, commandments, and statutes. It's just there's no other way, Yashara, and this is why this thing is intensifying against Israel. Because think about it. If you look at a lot of our people in these certain areas, all right, they don't want to repent. They want to continue to do wicked. All right, I'll give you an example. You look at the whole hip hop culture, the culture mindset. You know, it's like I'm gonna F your woman. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna do this to you. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're blurting out all kinds of stuff against our own people, in our words and in action. You think the Most High is pleased with that? You think the Most High won't sit back? Will sit back and just let that continue to happen? No, that's why he's using these gang members, or whatever you want to call them, these immigrants, to wipe out our people. Because we've become a nuisance.
God.
And it's what the sad part about it is that the heathen nations, they see it. It's like, man, what's wrong with our people? You know, how come they won't stick together? Why they don't act like this? This is why it's so imperative that you keep the commandments, so you stand out. You be set apart, because I guarantee you, when you keep the commandments at your workplace, I guarantee you, they might not come up to you and compliment you, but I damn sure that they're gonna know that you are an Israelite. They're gonna know that you know. You see what I'm saying? When people see my fringes on, they automatically know, and they come up to me and say, "Oh, I like your fringes." Well, I'm like, "How do you know they're fringes?" These are heathens. They know. Don't let them fool you.
You know, they you gotta realize, man, these heathen, right? They have been prepping our people, right, and then steadily encouraging wickedness behind closed doors for a long time, right? True, they have been encouraging us, but that doesn't mean that we have to accept it, right? However, this is why we must be spiritually fortified by reading the laws, statutes, and commandments and keeping them, so we can understand the wisdom that is within. Right. Not too long ago, I saw something as an adult, but then they're starting to bringing it out. I don't know if you but like a lot of us from the old school, you've heard of Biggie Smalls, right? A rapper, right? They had a video of the guy, you know what I'm saying? They had a video, you know what I'm saying, of him making some, it was him inside of a rap video. But inside the rap video, the love interest, it looked like a woman, but in turn, it was a transgender, right?
Damn.
Yeah, hey, Israel, this is right before your eyes. And so, you know, they were putting this stuff before the children's eyes. You see what I'm saying? Like, these heathen, they try with subliminal messages and all kinds of tactics of wickedness to try to weaken our people so we can succumb to wickedness, right? You know what I mean? Like, we have people that are in the background purposely trying to push our people to wickedness, right? And to put a bad name on our people so we will look like horrible people to the rest of the world so they can continue to hate. You have to realize that without keeping God's laws, right, we're not going to ever amount to a hill of beans to anyone.
That's right.
I got a scripture. Unless you got unless you got.
No, go ahead. Go ahead and bring it out. While you bring that out, I just want to tap on that, because you know, when the Most High says that you are a holy people unto Him and you are above all nations, He meant that. All right, and it's a slap in the face. Matter of fact, we're taking the Most High's name in vain by going against that. A lot of people think that taking the Most High's name in vain is cursing or saying the GD word. That has nothing to do with it. Taking the Most High's name in vain is not living out the commandments, because you are a chosen people. You are called above all nations. You are set apart people. But we're not doing what it was in our genetic makeup to do, and that's worship the Almighty. All right, and so therefore, with that being said, vengeance has been taken on us, and the Most High has allowed us to be for a prey for our enemy and for devouring. All right, like I said in Jubilees, and this is why we keep seeing the same stuff over and over and over, and then our people, they don't get it. They can't wake up and see the truth of what's happening. And after brother shares that clip, there's that reads the scripture. We can probably go into that clip The link I sent you, brother.
Okay,
And then we can get on that, because I want to show you too, y'all. Like this thing is real. You know what I'm saying? And man, these people, they are seriously, they have no intentions of repenting, no intentions of giving you reparations. You can forget about that, or any kind of benefits. They want to completely destroy you. Go ahead and bring it out.
Right. So, we was in the Maccabean captivity at a particular time, right? And this is something similar that was like the mark of the beast. But however, this was brought upon us because, the same thing right now, we have all these Jewish people that run the news and all of these things. They always, they funded the slave ships and, all of this, the hidden enemy, right? These folks are purposely putting us on the television to forward the wickedness of our people, right? To make us look like a downtrodden, abased people. Right, and it says his purpose was to indict a public stigma upon our race. Right, we're dealing with that same thing today. Wherefore he erected a pillar at the tower porch and caused the following inscription to be graved upon it: that entrance to the own temple was to be refused to all those who would not sacrifice, that all the YOVHELIYM, which is Jews, right, were to be registered among the common people, that those who resisted were to be forcibly seized and put to death, that those who were thus registered were to be marked on their persons by the ivy leaf symbol of Dionysus, and to be set apart with these limited rights. To do away with the appearance of hating them all, he had it written underneath that if any of them should elect to enter into the community of those initiated rights, was in other words taking the symbol of Dionysus, right, they should have equal rights with the Alexandrians, right? So they should be made a citizen. Now, unbeknownst to us, right, these heathen, they have already pretty much accomplished that same thing. You are no longer an Israelite, right? But living in America, they have turned you into an American. All your traditions, everything that you do, you living mixed up among these damn heathen. You think that you can make babies with these other races and things of this nature, right? They're destroying us daily. The same thing has happened back in the day, but they've already successfully, have our people integrated. You don't know your history. You don't know your customs. You don't know your holy days and things of this nature. Of course, the people that, that are here joined on the channel, I'm sure you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you guys, y'all keep the commandments. Right, but the people that are around you, those that you work with, right, other brothers and sisters of your family that don't keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, you see, right, how they're just walking around in darkness, right, like a man groping in noonday, like a blind man groping in noonday. It's the same thing, and now they're flooding our community with more confusion, right? They've allowed these people to keep their language, right? They don't have to go through the, they don't have to go through the normal, steps to become a citizen here. They done skipped all of that, right? They don't even know how to talk. They don't even know how to speak English, a language that was beaten into you, right? They don't care about you. When are we going to realize that we have enemies round about and that we need to come together and congregate like the Most High says as a people and come back to the Lord so we can get the hell up out of here? Man, let me play this video that Brother Daniel sent.
Hey, before you do, I want to, because you read something in that scripture that made me think of something. So let me bring this out right quick.
Go ahead.
So when Brother Eitan read in Maccabees, all right, so their purpose was to make us look like criminals, make us look bad. Well, they've been doing this even after slavery. They've been making us look bad like that. Now, y'all heard of the old vagrancy laws? Where, okay, when our people came out of slavery, they had to create a stigma against our people because they saw that, man, even though we did not have the same education as they did, or we were so resilient, man, they had to come up with a way to stain our name. All right, so they came up with these vagrancy laws. They said that we were animals, that we were rapists, and all this stuff. We were wild beasts that could not be controlled, and that was furthest from the truth. Because Black Wall Street was started shortly after the chains came off. All right. So it just goes to show you how true the scriptures are, because they've been doing this for a very long time, for thousands of years. They've always tried to stain the nature of Israel, because I'm telling you, the powers that be, they know. So one of their final attempts now is to completely wipe you out with these immigrants. And
Hold up, Israel. Brother Daniel might have accidentally knocked himself off the live. So, well, like Brother Daniel was saying, right? It's you know, what these heathens pretty much want, right? They want to just pretty much claim everything for themselves now. There he is. He's back. Yeah. You all right over there?
Okay, yeah, you know what happened, man? I clicked out of the wrong. I clicked out of Google. Sorry. So, my bad, y'all.
Yeah, sure, man. I thought the spirits hopped on you, man.
No, man, that was my fault, man.
God,
Something hopped on me,
that's
man. Where I deleted the main. Like, man, I'm glad I didn't hit the end. I'm glad I didn't hit the end stream button.
God, me too. Good gracious, man.
Woo,
Fat fingering over there.
All right, brother Eitan. So you got that. I know, man. You got that clip ready?
Yeah, man. Let me go ahead and pull that
I'm
up.
gonna go ahead and show you. Go ahead and just bring up the clip right quick. Just go ahead and cue it right quick. But while he's pulling that up, let me explain to you what's going on in this clip. You might have saw this. All right, and we're gonna kind of skim forward because there's some managers talking and everything. But I want you to see the very beginning of it, and I want you to see what this brother says. This is an older brother, probably like his maybe 60s or something like that. But he's talking like, you know, he's down and everything. But it's like, come on, y'all didn't see this coming. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes to show you, man, that this thing is real and it's going to intensify. All right, go ahead, brother.
All right. As you see on the screen, it says black families are being kicked out of their homes, right? So black families, including the Israelite families, right? The real children of the Most High, because of illegal Venezuelan gangs, nasty, stinking ass heathen, have moved in to our neighborhood and taken over, right? You know, you got to remember right now, these politicians or whatnot, these are letting these heathen in by the millions into whose neighborhood, right? They're letting it into your neighborhood. Where do you think they're getting all these guns and stuff from, right? This stuff doesn't appear out of the blue. All of a sudden, you got 200 heathens up in the neighborhood trying to force you to come on, man. This is hey, Israel, man. We're under attack. We got to wake the hell up. And you're not going to win it on your own, right? You can't win these battles on your own. You can only win them with the power of the Most High God by keeping these laws.
Yeah, got a show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
It's lucky. I don't know what's going on there.
Caught in the middle. This not had enough time to find more permanent housing, and they're really caught in the middle this morning.
I thought there would be some compassion, maybe a little bit of an extension to help these people find somewhere to go. They put some paperwork on our doors saying, if you find a place to go, we'll pay your deposit in first month's rent. I bet you $100 to a dollar, nobody has been put or placed or helped find somewhere to go.
Now, the building's management says that the problem stems from gangs that have pretty much overrun the entire building and taken control of the building. They say it's not the code violations that the city claims.
An undocumented immigrant is not a criminal. And
okay, you can start right there. Yeah, that's all I want. That's all I want to show, man.
That's
so, yeah, that's fine. You don't got to do the other stuff with that. Well, the female's talking, but if you notice what that brother said, he thought that they would have compassion. He was talking about. He was talking about they. As far as the government, he thought they would find a place for them to go. Yeah, they got a place for them to go to replace you. Now, this is, even though this is happening in certain areas, it's pretty much isolated, and it's only happening where most of the police don't normally go because they don't, really care, or they don't care at all about our people, of course, and rightly so. They shouldn't, because they're not us. All right. But if you notice the tone in that brother's voice, he seems so surprised and sad, and it's like, see, and this is what our people are dealing with, and they don't even understand why they're going through it. They don't even realize that them not keeping the commandments has a lot to do with why they are going through what they're going through. Now, will they ever wake up and see the truth? More than likely not. Some of them will, but majority of them won't. They'll go to their graves in wickedness and never having the chance to repent. And that's the sad part, y'all. To grow up, to live your life all your years, even if you live till you're 90, not keeping the commandments, being wicked, and then you die only just for the pit, for the sword. You know, that, I don't know, that's always been the most perplexing thing, for me. It's something to imagine that you would just, people can grow up, go to their grave with the same old thinking, serving the heathens. Oh, I'm just going to just live my life and please the heathens and hope that they'll help me one day. Yeah, right. You're gonna be going to your grave.
That's exactly where you're gonna be going.
On that very thought. Crazy, man. What you got there?
Let's see here. Okay. Oops. Highlight this. All right. And so I was looking up articles and stuff, trying to see the relationship between the blacks and the Hispanics, right? And then, most media are biased and saying this nature, but this is just from another research center that I wanted to pull up. It says, but some differences begin to emerge when blacks and Hispanics are asked how well the two groups get along. The majority of blacks, 70%, but a smaller share of Hispanics, 57%, say the groups get along very and fairly well. Now, the reason why I wanted to read that is because guess what? What does it say there? That just as usual, our people are under delusion that everybody likes us, that we're going to accept everybody. 70% of our people were like, yeah, you know what? We get along fine with, under a delusion, while 57% of the Mexicans, right? They're, they think that they get along for this, which is a larger percentage on the negative end of people that don't view us, as the people that they like. Right? Our people shouldn't be under any kind of delusion about these other races. Look at where we are just look at where we are. Look at where our people are known to stay. Look at at how they view us, right? The stigma that is constantly being set upon our people. And here we are, we still trying to make friends with everybody instead of building each other up so we can be a consolidated power, keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way that we can beat these heathen. We don't have the numbers. So we got to come up with another strategy. A strategy we've not used before. We know marching and crying and doing all that crap. That don't work, right? We still haven't gotten reparations and they're not going to give it. You can't kill people and then go to a sanctuary city and be released and then to go back around. You can't come into the country with a neck pillow on and then they fly you to wherever the hell you want to and then put you up in a $500 hotel. Right? They drive by you every day on the street while our people are suffering. Trodden down neighborhoods, broken down school systems, or even the schools that we do go to, they're taught, what are we taught? We're taught the education of the heathen. We don't have our own educators. All the HBCUs, they have to go to the white man to get the grants and the education books to teach whatever they want to teach. You don't go to the HBCUs and they tell you that you're Israelites. Go ahead, Oxlaki.
No, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy about this whole thing, man? Like, our people, so from 1920, there's been over at least 25 million, probably way double than that, but I would say, just for the record, 25 million illegal immigrants have come into the country since then. All right, that's been almost a little bit over 4 years ago. All right, now you look how much aid that the government has given them so far. Everything. Now our people has been fighting for what? Equal rights for how long now? And reparations for how long? And look, these folks come in here with neck pillows, like Brother Aton said, and they march them. They throw out the red carpet for them. Take them into 5-star hotels, eating lobsters and crabs and all that kind of stuff. And man, them jokers, boy, eating steaks, all that filthy stuff. And giving them credit cards, man, just rolling out the red carpet. How long our people been going through it? That right there ought to be a slap in our face to our people. That should make them even wake up and realize, man, these jokers don't care for you. What are you fighting for? Why are you still marching around with signs? Why are you still running to pass the pork chop? I mean, stuff doesn't make no sense. You know what insanity is, right? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Huh.
One thing our people have not done yet is keep the commandments. I guaranteed you, boy. I guaranteed you, boy. The Most High would bring fire and brimstone if our people woke up and kept the commandments. Well, they won't do it. Instead of keeping the commandments, we ain't got to keep no commandments, but they'll break their necks trying to keep the holidays.
That's right.
They'll break their necks keeping Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, all these pagan holidays. They'll break their necks trying to do it, and won't even think twice. But not the law's commandments. Oh hell no! We ain't gonna keep that. Pastor Pork Chop said we don't have to do that.
Look, right, just to further, right,
you know, so mad.
You can't, right? So just to further, yeah, man, you ain't lying. Anyways, so just to further push the truth that these damn heathen, they don't like you, right? And these are the uppity ones too, you know what I'm saying? Not even the ones that stay near you because they have to, because they've been pushed into your neighborhoods. Right, but these are even the uppity ones, right? That they go into Congress and all this other stuff, right? What they think behind doors. So if you understand that this is the way that they think, even when they're in positions of power, of so-called power, right? What do you think that's going to be the the crap that rolls downhill if they're feeling this type of way about our people, right? That they're going to be against us, voting against us, doing things that are not going to be in our favor, making sure that we bear the brunt of everything, just like we have been from the forefront, because guess what? God says so, because we continuously do not keep the commandments.
All right, all week you've heard about the scandal that rocked the city of Los Angeles after several Latino members of the city council were caught on tape making racist comments.
She said several Latino politicians, right? They were caught. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like one up there in these positions of power that make decisions that can affect our people, right? There's many.
Now, Council President Nuri Martinez has now resigned. And among the several anti-Black comments, Martinez said this about her colleague, Council Member Mike Bonen's 2-year-old Black son. Take a listen.
It's like the oddest thing. It's like black and brown on this float. And then there's this white guy with this little black kid who's misbehaved. Este niño has they're not doing, the kid is bouncing off the effing walls on the floor, practically tipping it over. There's nothing you can do to control him. Parece changuito. They're raising him like a little white kid, which I was like, this kid needs a beat down. Like, let me take him around the corner and then I'll bring him back.
What? So, right, we got this heathen, right? She's on the news. She's saying that, she want to take little Israelites. Now you got to look at the situation, right? Already that they've already put our people in, right? Now think about it. From not keeping the commandments, we had a woman that had sexual relations outside of marriage, with a wicked man, right? And they've conceived a child with no means of taking care of the child, which the child then, right? See, this is all, right? I want y'all to understand how this dates back to not keeping the commandments, and this is the impact that it has on our people, right? Even if we don't see, right, 10 moves ahead, like this is a chess game. So from not keeping the commandments, now the child is placed in some type of foster home where some heathen, right, that is deemed to be unclean and wicked in every nature, right, from the beginning, that doesn't have a prayer of getting into the kingdom, because the kingdom only has 12 gates for the 12 tribes of Israel. And so now you have a child of God being raised up by a heathen. So he goes to this event, right? And while the child's at this event, we have other heathens that are in the room looking at another child of Israel and saying that he's acting up, and that they're like, you know what, you can't raise him like a white man, like a white boy, meaning that, you have to, some kind of way do some ungodly beating on this child. She says, take him out back. They said several of these politicians had been discovered for racism against Israelites, our people. The real children of Israel, not these fake folks that are running around here calling themselves Jews, right? The real people that are under the curses that are in Deuteronomy 28 of the scriptures. Right? We have to understand that we are under attack. We have enemies round about. We can't just toss away the law, statutes, and commandments and think that we're not going to continue to suffer out here. Like they're going to hate us. They're never going to like us no matter what happens. Even if this kid got adopted into a white family, man, you know, these other people are looking around and it's like, they don't care. We're never going to be accepted. The only person that accepts us wholeheartedly is the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. We're supposed to have our foot on these necks. Oh, Khan, go ahead.
Yep. And the crazy thing about this whole thing is, man, they've been like this towards us for a very long time. You know, it's because now we got the technology, you know, things gonna get recorded, and you know, just like people think that, oh, this is new, this is just now happening. Nah, this has been happening ever since we were brought over here. All right. And even before that. So don't get it twisted. I mean, it's just nothing new under the sun. And that's why when I heard that, I'm not surprised. Because that's their true nature. You know, you stick around somebody long enough and you see it, you see their true colors. And they said they don't even bother to hide it anymore. You know, they blatantly out. So they bringing these immigrants in your face. They're doing with them what they could have did with you a long time ago. So they showing exactly what they could have did for so-called black folks. But they're doing it for these immigrants.
Right in front of your face.
Exactly. Dead in front of your face, boy. That's like they just slapped you over a couple of times, and look what we doing, y'all. We taking care of you. We taking care of your enemies.
God.
And you know what? Now we will sit back. Okay, we'll help too.
You know, but yeah, man, that's crazy.
We'll help them come over.
And we kings, right? And everybody want to be kings.
And if they want to, they can put we'll put them up in our houses. Let me tell you how bad this thing is, man. You got, let me bring up this right quick. I'm gonna bring up this picture. Because you got these dumb camps, man, out here talking about what they say Neptali is, right? Don't they say Neptali is the Venezuelans? Let's see. Let's pull this up.
Argentina, Chile.
Oh, okay. Argentina, Chile. Who are, let me see. Well, I know they got Venezuelans on here somewhere. What they do consider Venezuelans some damn Israelites and everything. Colombia, Uruguay, Argentina, Chile. Well, it's all that area. It's that same area. But you know, these camps are talking about these are their people. All these immigrants are their people. Where's Brother Nate at? Is he gonna put them up in their home? If it's crazy, y'all. All right.
Con. Hey, I'll calm down, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I love the zeal. We know that 12 tribes chart is complete garbage, right? We definitely don't adhere to none of that garbage.
Yeah, let me show you. Matter of fact, it's so much garbage for that stuff, man, that they can't deny that stuff. Look at that. That's how garbage it is. Oh, man.
But we just want to show you the foolishness of it, Israel, you know, because it just doesn't make sense.
No. Yeah, but you know what? It's like the Most High is letting that stuff backfire on them because, see, you know, now they're seeing that. What they gonna do now? Where they at? Do you see these camps at the borders? Do you see them out there at these places where they busting them in at and everything, handing out flyers? Oh, you Issachar. Oh no, you're Nephtali. Oh no, you're Gad.
Yeah, because you got to show me that in the curses where they fly you in and give you free stuff, where the nations grant you free tickets so you can go and murder and do all kinds of crimes and go to sanctuary cities where it's safe for you, where you can just get $500 a night hotels and everything's good. Come on, man. Right? That goes against the laws. I mean, that goes against the curses that are in the scriptures. See, man, this is what happens when you preach a false doctrine. When you preach false doctrine, the Most High will make sure that it does get exposed. And if you continue following it like a dumbass, you will deserve exactly what happens to you in the end.
That's right.
You know, we're supposed to be in a position, we're supposed to be putting our boot heel on these damn heathens' necks, right? But because our forefathers and even our people today refuse to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of God, which cannot hurt you, it only does positive things for you and brings you up, that we're still under oppression. You know, that's why the scriptures say that oppression makes a wise man mad, because once you come to the realization of this, you're like, man, you know, I just want this to hurry up and be over.
And see, and this is why our people's backs up against the walls right now, because they don't want to do right. And then you have these camps that, I'm telling you, man, the Most High, they're going to be held sorely accountable. You know why? Because these leaders of these camps, they know the truth. They know that all Israel is black. They know that they are Negroes. But because they have fed into a damn lie for so long, they're sticking with it no matter what. They're sticking with it. Just like them damn fallen angels that wanted to lead their estate. They had perfect bodies. They had a good positions. They were supposed to be our watchers. They turned against the Most High, and then they did wickedness by going into the women and causing all this chaos. Now you tell me, you telling me the Most High is not going to have a punishment for that? Oh, you got it wrong. And you know, we're seeing the same things over now. These camps have taught and have embedded in the minds of our people that those folks are our people. That's more dangerous than anything. You can't reverse that. You can't come back from that. That's why they know it. That's why they're not repenting from it. They're gonna stick with the lies, just like the angels. Just like the angels did. You know, those fallen angels, that Shemaiah made a deal. He says, I know that most of you are not going to agree with this, so let's make a pact. Damn, they made a pact. They made a pact against the Most High, man. You know what that did? He had no idea what the hell he was doing when he did that. Now I bet you now, when he tried to get petition from Enoch to take petitions unto the Most High, it was rejected because he had already made his decision. You can't have a perfect body like that, and then you go against the Most High, and then don't think that you're gonna just come back from that.
God.
Now that's scary, man. It's scary at the same time is wickedness. But we're in for it. The war has it. The war on Israel has intensified greatly, y'all. Y'all think it can't get no worse? Oh, we ain't seen nothing yet.
God, we ain't seen nothing yet.
And it's only been a couple of years. Let's just say in the last 4 years, it's like the condition of our people for the worse has quadrupled. That's just in the last 4 years, Yasharel. just imagine in the next 10 years from now.
God, man. And all the curses are gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I mean, like, it's not gonna you spend your next 10 years rejecting the commandments. And the Most High is giving you all these signs. The Most High is giving you all these signs, and you still can't see it. I want to put out something real quick, right?
Don't understand it,
I know, right? And then, like, the times that we're living in right now are by sure the great times for you to get right? Because in the times in the future, right, we don't want to be alive in those times. Man, you think it's bad now when they just porny and heathens? It says, and the 4 angels were loosed, Revelation 9:15, right? And it says, and the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year, for to slay a third part of men, right? You know, we got times out there that, you know, you see that a third part of men are going to get destroyed by the angels if you're still alive in these end times, right? That's why, you know, partially, right, I'm alive. I'm glad I'm alive in these days, that when I die, I don't have to experience things of that nature, right? You know, it says that a third of the water, right, a third of the trees, right, and all of these things are going to get destroyed in the future. That means that what? You're going to be starving the air, right? If a third of the trees get destroyed, things that create oxygen on the earth, right? What's going to happen to us, right? What's going to happen to the humans? You're going to immediately be dying of the third part of the water, right? People are going to be starving for water. Man, you think they selling water now and it's expensive?
Sure.
You know, it's going to get real bad in the future, right? You thought, you know, when you look at that movie, hey, what's that movie that you be talking about all the time out with Denzel in it?
Oh, the the Book of Eli.
Yeah, man. You know, it's going to be similar to that movie, like the Book of Eli.
Yep.
Right. It's
It
going to be a
is.
wasteland out there. You're going to be wearing masks and stuff for, you know, to cleanse the air so you don't die. Oxygen tanks on. Man, we can't survive in this little bit right now. And you ain't taught your people, raised up your sons to be warriors in the coming war ahead. Right? What do you think is going to happen to our people? Our people have become decadent in the land of the heathen. Twerking in the streets, dancing, painting their fingernails, wearing wigs, you know what I'm saying, doing everything, trying to be just like the damn heathen when we're warriors and we're children of the Most High God. And the future above us and the future that's before us is going to be extremely hard. We're not, you know, so we're not preparing our children for what's coming ahead. We're lacking on every front. It's a damn shame.
And you know, the crazy part about it is all the signs that the Most High has been showing us on the earth is being ignored. It's just like it was before the flood, before the Most High destroyed most of mankind except for Noah and his family. He shook the whole earth. He shook the whole earth to warn our people. Damn, that wasn't even enough. So you gotta, man, you gotta ask yourself the question, like, all the signs, there's no way that we can say that we're without excuse. All right, we just, Yasharel, if we ain't trying to get ourselves, our people are not trying to get themselves together right now, then it's already too late. It's already too late. And the nail in the coffin is already happening right now with our people. And not only, you know, are people being replaced by these immigrants, but also like all the jobs that most of Israel work. Now, you may say, well, what do you mean with jobs? You know, there's all kinds of jobs. Well, think about it. Collectively, what are the most jobs that our people work? That's construction, all right, retail, food service. Tell me if I'm lying, because y'all know I'm telling the truth. That's where you're gonna find most of and then your what you call your service jobs. You know, like childcare, all that kind of stuff. You know, that's the majority of our folks work. All right. When you anywhere, no matter where you go, if you go in an area where there's not a lot of our people, you'll see them working at those jobs. You know, you barely see a lot of our people. Yeah, you'll see black doctors here and there, but you're not going to really see a lot of black doctors unless you go to Atlanta, where the most of our people are concentrated at. But outside of that, you're not going to see too many black doctors, black lawyers, and patent lawyers, and all that stuff. So I'm just telling you the facts. And these jobs are being replaced by immigrants and AI. What's that going to leave our people? It's going to you're going to either have three choices. Either you're going to have to get yourself together and keep these commandments, or you're going to turn to a life of begging or a life of crime.
We gotta go stay focused, Israel. We gotta stay focused on the Most High God.
And you don't want to be caught. And you don't want to be caught in the former, you know, turn into a life of crime or turn into a life of begging. Your best thing is to turn to these commandments. Make haste and keep the commandments.
I'm gonna read Wisdom of Solomon chapter 15. Brother Daniel, if you don't mind, for you to help me out. You know, if you don't mind, need some help. If you could help me out, I think yeah, man, take over like around like
let me know what you want me to read.
All right, take over around like verse 10. All right, it says,
okay.
But thou, O God, are gracious and true, long suffering, and in mercy, ordering all things. Right, we gotta understand the long suffering part. Right, I just want to bring that out real quick. One day is like 1,000 years to the most. I mean, one day to the Most High is like 1,000 years to us, right? So it may seem like, the stuff that we're doing right now, we're getting away with it, right? But the Most High, he does remember, right? He says, in no way will he acquit the wicked. It says, for if we sin, we are thine, knowing thy power, but we will not sin, knowing that we are counted thine, right? For to know thee is perfect righteousness, yea, right? So to know God is perfect righteousness, yes. To know thy power is the root of immortality, right? So this is why we got to keep the faith in the Most High through the dark times that are ahead, right? Because to know the power of the Most High is the root of immortality. For neither did the mischievous invention of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with divers colors, the painter's fruitless labor, right? So if you guys out there believing in white Jesus or any other thing that these folks are painted for images and things of that nature, we're not supposed to even have an image of the Most High, right? You're a fool. It says the sight whereof entices fools, right? It says the sight whereof entices fools to lust after it, right? You see all these folks, oh, the white Jesus, the blue eyes and the flowing hair. Man, it's wicked as hell. So they desire the form of a dead image, Caesar Borgia, right? Because that's the image that they have painted white Jesus from, that hath no breath. Both they that make them, they that desire them, and they that worship them are lovers of evil things, are worthy to have such things trust upon, right? And so our people, right, no matter what it is, if they try to make it from like any kind of like inventions that we've made on the earth, and you sit up there worshiping that, and you're not worshiping the Most High God, right? And you're putting your trust in things, right, that are no other than the Most High, nothing but destruction is going to come upon you, right? Because those things cannot save you in the time of trouble. For the potter, tempering soft earth, fashioneth every vessel with much labor for our service, yea. Of the same clay he maketh both vessels that serve for clean uses, and likewise also used to serve to the contrary. But what is the use of either sort? The potter himself is the judge. And employing his labors lewdly, he maketh a vain god of the same clay, even he which a little before has made earth himself, right? And within a little while after returneth to the same. Out when his life is which is lent to him shall be demanded. Which means what? Right? We got people out here that are doing what? Right? You might be worshiping things that people out here making statues, right? The cobblestone, these folks out here worshiping all kinds of things, your cell phone device, whatever what it may be, by something that was made of clay, right? They're made of the same thing that they've already made for other people to worship, which they're also going to return back to the same clay by the person that made them when he demands their life back. This is why if you're worrying about all this other stuff that is out here, instead of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments that'll teach us how to move against these heathens that are in the land and that they are our enemy, right? We're going to be devoured. Notwithstanding his care is not that he shall have much labor, nor that his life is short, but striveth to excel goldsmiths and silversmiths, and endeavoreth to do like the workers in brass, and counteth it his glory to make counterfeit things. His heart is ashes, his hope is more vile than earth, and his life of less value than clay. Right? So it says the Most High is pretty much saying, right, you're right, don't strive to do those things, and don't strive to believe in those things and make them your idol. All right, Doc, if you could take over.
All right, do we leave at 10 or verse 11?
You start off at verse 11.
Okay. It says, for as much as he knew not his maker, and him that inspired into him an active soul, and breathed in a living spirit. All right. Talking about the beginning of creation of Adam. It says, but they counted our life a pastime, and our time here a market for gain. For say they, we must be getting every way, though it be evil means. For this man that of earthly matter maketh brittle vessels and graven images, knoweth himself to offend above all others. All right. It's crazy, y'all. It's right here in your face. And all the enemies of thy people that hold them in subjection are most foolish and are more than very babes. For they all the idols of the heathens to be gods.
What does that
Read
say?
that again. For they counted all the idols of the heathens to be gods, which neither have the use of eyes to see, nor noses to draw breath, nor ears to hear, nor fingers of hands to handle, and as for their feet, they are slow to go. You know, the sad part about this is us today. Because what do we constantly do right now? What do we celebrate the most than anything on this earth? It's these damn holidays.
That's right.
For this man that of earthly matter make it brittle. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I'm back at let's see.
You have 16.
All right, verse 16. Verse 16 says, "For man made them," and yeah, because I saw you move it up. It's like, oh shoot, did you move it all the way up? It says, "For man made them, and he that borrowed his own spirit fashioned them, but no man can make a God like unto himself." Facts. "For being mortal, he worketh a dead thing with wicked hands. For he himself better than the things which he worshipped, whereas he lived once, but they never."
Hey, all right. Let me show you, something.
This goes back to.
Go ahead. Hey man, I think you're fading out.
No,
hey,
this goes back
me?
to man with yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Con, go ahead.
Yo, can you hear me?
Go ahead, brother.
Am I coming in? Am I coming? No, I'll say this goes back to Isaiah, was it 1:3? The ox knoweth his owner, but the ass, and the ass is Chris. But Israel does not know. My people does not even consider. Man, our people, we just, man, I don't even see how the Most High even continues to deal with us, man, and the stuff that we do.
Man, I just noticed something about this. I just noticed something about this particular scripture. It says, "For man made them, right, and he that borroweth his own spirit fashioned them, but no man can make a God like unto himself." Right. So these, so you're not going to be able to make no AI, right? No matter how hard they try to make something that thinks, right, and that can live for itself, right? No matter what, they're not going to be able to do it. It says, "For being mortal, he worketh a dead thing which with wicked hands. For he himself is better than the things which he worshipped, whereas he lived once, but they never." Like all the machines and all of the stuff that you make and you want to turn it right, they're never going to have a real life. They're never going to have a soul. They're never going to live. Right. So that's pretty much the main thing.
Yeah, that's why it says that man's devices are wickedness. No matter what technology he comes out with, it's never going to be compared to anything that the Most High has created. All right, verse 18, it says, "Yea, they worship those beasts also that are most hateful, for being compared together, some are worse than others. Neither are they beautiful so much as to as to be desired in respect of but they went without the praise of God and his blessing."
All right.
We don't want to, and that says it in a nutshell. We rather praise man. We rather praise the works of man's hands and their devices before we give it to the Most High.
So we got to stay focused on the Lord, right? Because he's the one that made us, not focus on man's inventions and things of this nature that we're getting caught up in. Like we're getting buried in our cell phones and things of this nature instead of looking around us and keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and bringing our brothers in tight and teaching them the way. Because if we forever stay separated, right, we stay, the family's broken up. We don't have fathers in the home to raise up the sons and the daughters, right, to be righteous and to understand the war that we're going through, right? We're going to continue this L on our forehead, right? We're going to continue losing to the heathen, right? Sure, man, you might be good in sports and here and there, right? But what does that really amount to? Nothing. Not a damn thing. You don't own none of that. You know what I'm saying? And your name ain't on no money. So your face ain't on no money, right? You don't own no banks. None of that. Right, you just over here talking the language of the heathen, keeping their customs, feeding their economy, and being and being a damn coon, right? So until like we can't be a coon by doing what the heathen wants us to do, right? We have to keep the laws, right? We don't need to be mean mugging our brother when we see him. We need to speak, right? Tell him shalom, brother, you know, what's going on, you know what I'm saying, and all of this stuff, even though it seems like, you know, our people are enemies to themselves more than the heathen, right? If you notice that all the crime and stuff that they talk about, most of it is us doing it against ourselves, right? So they even like, that's the worst part of it, right? It's not like we're even doing the crime against our oppressors and the damn enemy. We're damn out here, right, doing it to ourselves. So if we're out here destroying ourselves, right, how are we going to be able to see the enemy that's around us, right? Like that's like inner fighting when we got enemies on the outside trying to destroy us. Like we got to get it together. We have to get it together. If we don't, we're going to be destroyed, right? It's going to continue to get bad because the Most High says all those curses on our people. And the bad thing about it, right, it's not like the Most High just going to let the whooping be over, right? This is an ass whooping that's never going to end because the Most High is going to always make sure that Israel survives some type of way. So, like, if we don't get it together and teach our children the law, statutes, and commandments, we're just going to just pass down the ass whooping that God's going to continue to put on our people until we get right. Right? I'm talking about, like, you got to realize, like, we have it coming in negative ways from all sides, and we just got to understand and get it together. Like, we can't get out of it. There's no God's going to leave us alone and God's just going to all of a sudden understand and then, you know, let us go to the club, pop champagne, you know, and you know, saying be like the heathen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The boot heel is going to continue to be on our necks until we obey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Like the heathen are going to continue to do whatever the hell they want, pour in the damn, you know, the immigrants, all of this stuff, murderers, you know, all these folks or these jails that are in Venezuela, they're just letting them out, and they're not telling America who were the people that were in their jails, and they're just, you know, ushering them across the border and then putting the murderers, the kidnappers, right, the child fondlers, and all that stuff. They're putting them in your neighborhoods. Now, guess what? You're gonna have to you know, gather up guns, get protection, you know, come upon another extra layer of stress to try to protect your community right after we just damn near got out of slavery. Why? Because we ain't keeping the commandments. We want to entertain Pookie and Ray Ray and have, you know what I'm saying, and have babies and be, you know, strong, independent women. That's what we want. When the war's on our doorstep. And we're getting destroyed.
Let them bleed out. They just have to bleed out.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's what's happening.
Right? Yeah, that's the thing.
Can you hear me?
What happened up?
Yeah, can y'all hear me?
Con. Uh-oh.
Yo.
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit out. You sounded like a robot, though.
Oh, man.
I can't hear you, brother. I don't have anything else.
I'm a look.
Okay. Well, I'll keep talking to people. I'll answer any questions they got if you have any while you log out and log back in. All right, Israel. Brother Daniel seems to be gone for the minute. And we'll wait till he comes back, and then we're going to bid everyone a happy Shabbat Shalom. All right. There he is. Welcome back, Brother Daniel.
When I was talking away, man, I don't even heard me.
Con.
Yeah. No, I was just saying, man, they got to bleed out. That's where it's going to have to be. They just have to bleed out.
Con.
Unfortunately, until the Most High has a remnant. But, you know, we're pretty much at the end of the lesson, so I don't have too much to say here. Unless somebody has a question pertaining to the lesson.
Damn. Yeah, con. Look at this right here. Sister Nate, the sister say in New York, they already offering those immigrants police officer jobs. You know what that means, right? Anybody start taking them on. Yeah. Yo, y'all better get right, Israel, man. Y'all Yo, man, these heathen trying to squad up, right? And they're not getting. See, I told you, man, they don't like our people, man. They're trying to get down with the heathens so they can partake in the whooping of Israel, right? You don't have your sword of power if you're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. They're just going to be.
Yeah.
You're not going to know how to move if you're not reading the scriptures.
Hey,
Like,
look,
so
you know what's so crazy, man? They so tired of whooping us, man. Now they're getting other nations to do it. Damn.
Come on, we'll bring y'all in. Come on across the border. Don't worry about it. It's free.
Yeah.
We give y'all place to stay, and we'll give y'all jobs.
We got the perfect place. We're gonna send you. We're gonna replace the black folks. Oh, it's funny, man, but it's not funny. But it's funny because, damn, it's right in your face.
The third generation will be like something like your great grandmother, your grandmother, and then your mother, right? That's things of that nature. So let's say, for example, if you're mixed with a Hamite, and your great grandmother mixed with a Hamite, then her son, married an Israelite and mixed with him, and then mixed with the regular mother down the line, the third generation. That seed will be back to the seed of Israel. Let me see.
Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to bring out. Is don't forget sunset tonight is the Feast of Trumpets. So go ahead and look at your calendars. Make sure you're off. Celebrate. Get your shofar out. Get ready to blow like crazy.
That's right. Wake up, your neighbors.
And remember, it is a holy day, so you can cook. You just can't do servile work to work for money. All right. But you can do stuff around your home, play games, and have fun, do stuff with the kids, cook, grill, enjoy the feast.
Telling you, Israel. Well, Israel, get ready, right? Get on your prayers, right? Get yourself some protection. Do what you need to do, Israel. The war is coming to your doorstep, whether you want it to or not.
Yep.
Right? Man, right? Boots on the ground.
All right, Asherah. With that being said, we're going to bid you a hearty Shabbat Shalom and Feast of Trumpets later on tonight. And
stay strong.
Shalom. All right.